Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I'm Follygon, here with your daily dose of ZBrush and work motivation. Today I have a speed sculpt for you of the new female Pokemon trainer from Sun and Moon. I worked on this sculpt for about an hour and a half, and I have this video sped up by I believe about times 10 speed, so 1000%. Here I'm just kind of starting off with the sphere. I'm just going to go ahead and get into my process as quick as I can. Starting with that sphere, kind of just blocking out the shape of the head, throwing a neck on there, and attempting to kind of line up the proportions of this character. I don't really sculpt anime style characters very often, so you're going to see here that I probably stay pretty lost for longer than I normally do trying to find those basic shapes and proportions. I'm definitely more used to blocking out realistic human type proportions. So I gotta start every sculpt with your weird alien head. That's how every good sculpt starts in ZBrush. So right now, I just threw in those eyes, if you saw that, and I'm just trying to block out those lids, the shape of that nose. Man, at this point, I am wishing that I was a part of that otaku lifestyle and my desk was covered in anime figures. Unfortunately, it's not. I have two realistic figures, a male and female, from the, let's see, the 3D Total figures. I don't know if you've seen those, but I'll pull up a picture of them. They're the half écorché, I believe that's how écorché, however you pronounce that. They're the half écorché figures, and they're really nice, awesome for reference. Unfortunately, not awesome for referencing an anime style character. So if you look at this weird ass shape I have going on top of this character's head, I'm attempting to block in that hair. Everything still looks really weird, really basic shapes. I'm trying to find everything, but part of ZBrush, part of sculpting, part of art, I think in general, is trying to get used to your weird your sculpt at first, right? And it's gonna look weird for a little bit, but you have to be able to kind of have the foresight to see where that's going, and also the ability to be comfortable and be confident in what you're doing, and just say, like, this is just temporary, it will get better from here, it just needs some time. So again, throwing those eyes in, throwing those teeth in, throwing that tongue in real fast, throwing in the lashes there. Everything that I'm doing is, it's a speed sculpt, so an hour and a half. I set myself a not like a crazy hard limit, like at an hour and a half I must stop, but I try to hit that mark, so I'm trying to go as quick as I possibly can when I do a speed sculpt. That's kind of the point of the project, to practice and to get faster at what you're doing. So with that, I try new things. Sometimes they don't work out, sometimes they do, and I can append those to the processes that I use in a standard day. But if you looked at that neck, what I was doing just about 5 seconds ago was I split the head from the neck, and the reason was because I couldn't get that hard transition between the neck and the lower part of the skull. Normally you don't have that sharp of a transition on a normal human, and that's kind of the process that I would take. I would keep that neck. One of the first things I did was I threw a neck on the basic head shape. So with that, that's kind of the normal process that I take for sculpting humans. But I quickly realized that, hey, this is not your standard human character, so the shape of the neck is going to be a lot different, transitioning between the head and the body there. So right now I am creating some not eyelashes, but eyebrows. That's what those are called. And attempting to clean up some of my quickly sculpted geometry and start messing with this hair some more. So I everything that I do in ZBrush is really quick and dirty, at least most of the time. I start off really quick and dirty, you know, I just want to get the basic shape in there as fast as possible. Those primary forms are so important to me, and so important for me to get them in quickly, because honestly, primary forms and blocking stuff out is something that I really struggle with, and that's why I want to do more of these speed sculpts to get faster and better at getting those more quickly down, you know. So trying to throw in the hat here, if you saw what I did, I didn't even take the time to switch brushes to correctly what I would normally do to slice up some geometry. I just used my select lasso and, you know, deleted it and closed holes. So speed is definitely the name of the game here. I want to get faster at my processes that I am doing. There's just a quick cut there. If you noticed, she now has more detail on her hat. Her hair is a little offset. She has a few different shapes in her body and some color on her teeth and tongue. Unfortunately, I lost about I think 10 or so minutes of footage there of me just going around making those changes very quickly, and unfortunately I don't have that video anymore, but you know, it was only a few minutes, so no big deal, no sweat. Throwing in some arms right now just to kind of figure out the shape of these deltoids at least a tiny bit on the actual character. I mean, in this style of character, there's almost no detail here. It's just a very clean transition, but I at least want to get in my mind this shape and what it needs to look like, even though it's going to be covered up by a shirt here, just so I understand the shapes that are going on there, and just so that, you know, I can make that look more correct when the shirt is over top of it. It's kind of the same idea when you're sculpting any type of figure. You want to think about the structure that's underneath, whether that be bone or muscle or what have you. Right now, just throwing in some extra hair strands and adding some detail around the rim of the hat for folds, adjusting the hair on each side, you know, just want to create some asymmetry. I'm kind of getting to that point where, you know, I'm well over halfway through and I need to start thinking to myself, okay, I got 30 minutes left here. I need to wrap this up. So trying to get all those parts in there that I can see on the character. So this shirt kind of gives me some trouble for a minute. I'm trying to think about how I need to create these sleeves. So I'm like, whatever, just throw some cylinders. Just throw some cylinders in there and go, 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 go. Alright, so at this point, trying to get the shape that I want for the shirt that I'm extracting. Actually, I don't do an extract, I just duplicate it, cut off some shapes, and pull out and inflate down in the deformation palette. Like how I did that. So just a quick mask. You know, now I'm looking at color. I'm trying to at least get an idea of what colors I want this shirt to be. I'm looking at the character's color for their shirt, and honestly I hate it, but I go ahead and try it anyway, and I end up changing it later, and you'll see that. And I just do a quick chop off of the arms and lower body. I mean, this is just a character bust. You saw the finished piece, so you know what this looks like already. Slice off the hair here. I do a quick Dynamesh on these two parts. If you do a close holes operation there, you're not going to get the result you want. It's going to close holes between that entire gap in the middle, which is not what you want. If you do a Dynamesh, it will close the correct way without closing within that gap. I just did that so that I could get a quick little offset there in the hair, just to create a little bit more of a transition. Right now, you know, just continually blocking out, you know, thinking about secondary forms here on the hair. Really just going as quick as I can. The brush that I'm using there is pretty similar to a damn standard brush. It's kind of my own little version of it. It's almost exactly the same with some modified settings. and I'm just using that to quickly throw in some hair strands and then soften those details so that they're not incredibly sharp. And then I go through and I do that up top as well, blocking out those shapes, switching my material quite often. The material that I'm using right now is my Follygon matte clay, that clay material that I love so much. You know, I spent so long looking for a nice clay material that I could actually use, and this is the one that I ended up landing on after maybe a year of trying a bunch of different clay materials. So now I'm going through to the eyes. I attempted to paint them there really fast, and I said, nope, that's not gonna work. So I created a mask, an ovoid shape there, and then I softened it in. I reversed the mask and softened it in so that I could kind of get the color over that black and give it that black ring effect. And then just adding some more asymmetry with the pose here, attempting to turn the eyes a little bit. They're a bit of a strange shape though because of the nature of the character, so I don't turn them too much just because I can't. And here are those colors on the shirt that I was talking about earlier. These terrible colors. And it's half the material that I'm using. It's just that basic material, and it's also half the color choices. It's really bad, and I really dislike it. So I get away from that shirt, and I'm like, okay, let's just do this hat real quick. This hat's a pretty simple kind of square pokeball shape. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's real quick. I like that. That's no big deal. At this point, I want to go into Transpose Master and adjust the shape of this character's head. Not exactly her shape, but more the shape of the hair and the pose of the head. But then I kind of twist her body a little bit, throw her some asymmetry, kind of look at the mouth a tiny bit more, because the mouth is not looking super great from the side view, and even at the end of the finished sculpt, the side view of this character isn't nearly as strong as the front, which is totally fine. You know, this again, it's a speed sculpt. We're going for kind of one view here for illustrative purposes, and attempting to figure out that skin tone as well as this shirt. I'm like so done with that yellow and gross purple, so I'm like, whatever, green. We'll go green because I wanted to do kind of a light red or peachy type background, so I was kind of thinking of colors that would look good with that. So trying to figure out the skin tone, trying to finish up this hair because I'm almost out of time here. My timer's ticking down on me. I think I at this point had only about 5 or 10 minutes left. So, you know, finish up that hair, get those last little bit of strokes in. Take a once over around the rest of the mesh. See that I forgot to add detail on those 2 extra strands that I added on the side of the head. So detail those out real fast there. And spin them around the back of the head. Screw it, doesn't need it, it's fine, it's great. You'll never see it, not from the front view, so hey, no worries there. But yep, I think that's going to be all for that. And then I just set the background real quick and transition into a turnaround video here for you guys to show off the character and what it looks like when it is complete. Alright, that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you have any ideas for future videos you would like to see, please post them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And if you want to follow me for updates, I'm on a few of the social doodads. You can go ahead and click any of those down in the description. Or you can go ahead and click that subscribe button if you want to be notified of new videos. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. And I will see you next time. Let there be no illusion, I have no mic stand, and I am balancing this on my nose.